And we have our guest here, Minstrel from Team Hubris, just finishing in pretty epic battle actually with Not Enigma. Wasn't expecting it to go as long as it did, but definitely happy that you got a chance to make it, buddy.
Yeah, it was literally an 8-hour tournament. Started at 1 p.m. and there were only 4 teams, so
Oh my gosh.
very efficiently run.
No, yeah, no sarcasm there at all.
Yeah.
You guys end up winning? Because I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
we won.
Yeah, it was like a 3-2 match there, right?
Yeah, it was messy. Well, technically they got a free match because they beat us the first round, so we were in the lower bracket. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
In the finals, it was technically 3-1, but they got 2 points.
Oh, so it kind of let it. They do one of the extended
Yeah,
series
if you
thing.
come from the lower bracket, upper bracket gets an advantage.
Oh, I see. I see. Well, that's much closer.
Even when
That's-
there's 4 teams, they didn't do like a round robin.
No, it was Fnatic versus Melty and us versus Not Enigma in the first round.
That's so
And
weird. Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Yeah, that they would have lower brackets for 4 teams.
they did a lower bracket. Wow.
Yeah, haven't
Okay.
they ever played Monster Rancher? That shit's all. Anyway.
Monster Rancher. What are you talking
but
about?
surprisingly,
That's how to run
Melty
tournaments.
got last.
What happened?
Team Melty got 4th place.
Oh, really?
Lost to Fnatic. I have no idea how that happened. But, there was also a big controversy
Oh.
over
Oh,
the rules.
Oh, the rules. Yeah, you were telling me about it. So they were like arguing over the rules. So what was up with that?
It was like both Fnatic and Melty got the cart to the last part on Dorado, but neither completed. And then like mid game, ESL said is like, okay, if Fnatic gets 1 second of overtime, they win because they
Oh.
had a longer attack or
Mhm.
something.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so obviously they just changed their strategy to dive on the card at the end and win. And then Melty was obviously pissed because that wasn't in the
Oh,
rules.
yeah.
And they
Yeah,
just
obviously.
mid game in the final part of the map. And they ended up losing 2-1 to Fnatic.
Because of that. Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Obviously, more things to learn from the standpoint of event organizing. But you guys, Team Hubris, for those of you who haven't been following the Overwatch scene, Team Hubris has just been crushing. Actually, just each of the last, I don't even know how many tournaments, but you guys were 3-0ing and not Enigma for a while now. So today is obviously different. Did they switch some things up on you guys, or was it just your play?
Both. Well, I mean, like, I probably had, I don't know, 3-4 hours of sleep, and Tailspin the same. And I also pulled out like a different strat on us. So it was like
it's good to see
tougher.
that.
But Wage just like swept them the last 3 games in a row. So
Just adapted, I guess. Adapted to whatever they were doing. It's good to see them mixing it up though, against you
Adaptation.
guys. Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, we 3-0'd them in like the past 2 tournaments. And if you count scrims, our record against them is probably something like 35-7 or something.
35 and
Damn.
Wow, what a bunch of noobs. Honestly.
Yeah.
So what are you
Go
gonna do while the game's down?
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna forget that you're 35-7 for like a month or 2.
Whatever you want.
Well, I was talking to you yesterday, right? You're happy about the break.
Well, I mean, we had literally 18 hours of tournaments over the past 3 days because it's like 5 hours Gosu Saturday, 5 hours Gosu Sunday, 8 hours today. So
Have you considered not doing one of them?
yeah, we considered it, but then
No, we thought about it.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
it's not like we're playing for the international prize pool here.
What?
We're playing
It's
8
not $1 million
hours
bucks.
for $100, or no, yeah, $100 each. Oh,
So why play them all right now then? I mean, I guess that's the
to
question.
assert dominance.
To assert dominance,
Yeah, yeah.
you got to win every single day, right? Is that
Yeah.
the deal? Okay, well,
Yeah.
makes sense. Are you guys going to be looking to looking for sponsors and that sort of bit? Just from a standpoint of teams, or are you guys just still focus on just mainly gameplay?
We're obviously interested in getting sponsors. Like Matt's been approached by like Team YouPorn and some other people.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
I think that violates the Blizzard rules.
Yeah, I think it does.
I don't think that's.
I think it does.
Might not fly.
Yeah. At this point in the game's lifespan, no one's gonna get like, gaming house salary kind of offers.
Yeah.
You want to get a good deal, you need to get.
All right,
a
let me
strong
ask you.
team
Let
level.
me ask you. Hold on a second here. Are you okay with wearing a bumblebee costume?
Yeah,
Because I'm thinking about making a team. They're gonna be called the Germanites, and you gotta have a full clown costume one of the guys and a bumblebee costume on the other. What do you think?
I personally I like Cloud9 just for their logo.
It's got to get a good logo.
Yeah,
It's the Bumblebee logo. Someone will go.
It's
for
gonna be
it.
like a little
Celtics got
bee.
the
Seriously.
rabbit.
Yeah, that could work.
I'll get sued by the Charlotte Hornets, and then but they're not even exist anymore. Hold on a second.
No, they do. Yeah, they do. No, they're Charlotte Bobcats. Bobcats. Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah,
right.
the hell, I believe the Charlotte Hornets are
Yeah, that's true.
no longer in circulation.
So what do you?
But,
So what are you hoping to see, like from the break, like from the standpoint of the game itself?
I mean, what I'm expecting is they're gonna add like cosmetics and progression systems and things like that. I'm not expecting radical gameplay changes.
Oh,
I can
really?
tell you the gameplay changes that basically Hubris and all the other high-level teams would want is changes in the ultimate system.
What would you like to see?
HR.
Like what exactly?
Well, for example, if you kill Reinhardt, he gets 27% ult charge. And if Reinhardt kills Lucio and Mercy by himself, he gets 24% ult charge. So that's assuming Reinhardt does nothing and he just dies from full to zero. He gets 27% charge. And the ults are not like weak, they're incredibly strong.
Mhm.
Like half my play time is like I'm positioning myself to try and avoid the black hole, the barrage, the fucking balance hammer down, all
Right.
that stuff. And you build it so fast. It's
Yeah,
just
we were talking about
ridiculous.
alt
Yeah.
building before. Actually, we're probably gonna get a good idea to get your opinion on it. Alt building too fast? Do you think that just across the board it should be dropped?
I think it's across the board, and as I don't know if you can call it random, but it's just like you getting your ult 4% later can cost you the game.
Hmm.
Because it's like
Yeah,
what like too many ults, they can really only be countered by a defensive counter ult. So if they get like the Reaper ult or the Pharah ult first, and you get like the Lucio ult 5% later, that's could be the difference of a team wipe, and one wipe can be the difference of the game, especially if you're playing the.
I think it's just it dictates the game way too much. Where you don't want to spam as Junkrat because you don't want to give them ult. You don't want to kill Mercy because you don't. It's like so much is based around. Do they have ult? Am I giving it to them? When are they getting it? When are we getting it? And it's so, like you say, random.
It's like against Fnatic, for example, we would deliberately run in and just bait them to use their ults and let them kill us all, or we
Right.
just keep our ults and then we just get rezzed and wipe them out.
yeah. I didn't even like think about that. That is like
Just get all this.
You can do
bizarre
that.
strategies. Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be there regardless, right? Of being able to spam ults or not, or being able to farm ults quickly or not.
well, it's about the
Thing is,
general
Mercy can do
power
it from
level.
behind walls.
Yeah. So Ster has a huge problem with Mercy. Minstrel,
I hate her.
what do you think about Mercy?
Well, I think the problem is there's like too many ways to like insta-gib a team. Like you hit like a Zarya, Pharah combo or stuff like that. It's like the only real counter is the Mercy res. So I'd be happy if they changed it, but they need to rebalance some of the like massive AoE death ball stuff. Like
There's a lot of them. I mean, it's not
There-
even
there
just
are a
that
couple.
one.
There are quite a few. Wait,
Yeah.
how many like AOE death balls are there? There's
well, the biggest one is the Pharah ult, and
Yeah.
the Reinhardt is
The
kind of like that because if you get knocked
Pretty
down
much.
and once
Yeah.
they're
Maze is kind of too, but not.
I-
It's not instant
people
though.
don't really run Mei in competitive too at
Yeah.
all in this tournament. We've tried her. I think she's viable, but you've already got too many like required slots, so you have only a handful of people who can actually flex class.
Which are
and
which are in y'all's makeup? Which is the flex characters?
It's like Raz in Tailspin and Matt change. So Chump's basically always on Reinhardt. I'm on Lucio and Esper's on Mercy. And like Tailspin and Matt are usually going to be the fragger classes, although you'll have like Tailspin switch to a tank sometimes. And Raz is like the offensive flex tank. So
Okay, cool.
cool to like. One thing that I really hope happens in competitive as just a viewer is I hope they change some of these heroes because, yeah, that's like it happens a lot in games with more than 7, 8, or 9 different characters. But when you have 20 plus people, there's, like you said, there's like the people that have to be picked, and the other ones just don't really get played. And I'd like to see a lot more characters that you would not necessarily expect in competitive to be played in competitive because they kind of have to be played.
Well, it's like after the second tournament, people were complaining about the stale meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like
Yeah,
initially everyone started copying our like setups. So like we started doing double Lucio, first point, King's Row, and then everyone started copying that and all this stuff.
Right.
But,
You guys, the
like,
innovators.
our concept on like our default team lineup is we wanted the least like rock paper scissors type class as possible. So we don't want anything which is hard countered by another class. We want like the most versatile where you can just out frag the other team. So
A lot of divas. And sorry.
only on defense at like the last point, but that was actually not Enigma's invention
Oh yeah.
first.
I'd like seeing more interesting like team comps. I mean, there's enough heroes in the game, and there's going to be more added later, obviously. That'd be nice to see the different weird stuff that people come up with that they want to try to do to counter things that people are currently doing. Because it's supposed to be a game about switching. It's supposed to be a game about, you know, flopping around with heroes. So I don't know. As a viewer, it would be more interesting to me to see not defaults over and over again.
It's so tough for you guys to innovate, you know, right now because
Yeah.
the only team you can scrim with is the team that you play at the end of these tournaments, anyways, right?
Well, I think the other characters are more viable than it would appear. It's just like people don't like to change up, or it's like, you know, in Dota 2, some characters crap until some top team uses them in a tournament and then everybody starts using it. It's just kind of like a mental block. We don't want to experiment because
if one person showed off that Bastion like could do really good right here, sure you
I mean,
see a
Enigma
lot.
uses it on last, but it's
I'm gonna start doing it. Where do
Yeah,
they
you've
use it?
done it,
I'm going
like-
there. I'm doing it.
Get stop Blizzard from
like that.
redesigning it.
Yeah.
final
No,
point
it's
on Gibraltar. They use a Bastion in the
Yeah.
spawn door sometimes.
I could see that. Yeah.
yeah, that's a good
But
spot.
it doesn't work, I think. It's done worked one time out of 10 or something.
That's all it takes.
One
man.
time you didn't
That's all it
expect it.
takes.
Now you look for it.
That's all it takes.
Is it one of those things where it's just like if it ain't broke, don't fix it either? Especially you guys winning so much. Do you guys try to stay ahead of, like one step ahead, even when you're winning all the time?
Well, I mean, other teams need to change to counter us if what we're doing always works. There's no point in experimenting. I mean, we'll
Right.
mess around with stuff just for fun, but there's
Mhm.
no reason to change your lineup to something
Yeah.
just for the hell
It
of
works.
it.
It
It's hard to
works.
argue against that. All right. Well, let's see if we have any more. We were going through questions because we were, obviously had started the show and everything. So why don't we finish some of these questions? It's definitely great having you on here. I'm sure you're tired too, just from
Yeah.
the entire event.
I'm
So,
exhausted.
yeah, I don't want to have you on too long here. Okay, Linnea Tabitha Rose, who's Shade. I play with her a lot. Do you think Genji is broken? And why is the answer yes? He is.
I don't think he's broken. I mean, before today, we literally, I think, never lost a round against Genji. I think it's kind of weird. It's like he's not that good without the Zenyatta orb,
Mhm,
but he's
yeah.
really annoying if he has it.
Feels like
It's
very
hard
much
to
a
kill.
top character.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
It's hard to coordinate and kill him. If you're not that good and there's a Genji double jumping everywhere, he's
well, yesterday, like, Surefour killed 4 of Fnatic's members by himself as Genji in the NA Cup, and so they started raging. It's impossible to kill Genji with 200 ping and all that fun stuff.
It probably would be pretty hard.
I would rather fight a Genji than a McCree.
Yeah. I don't. It's like the flankers are kind of, they're in an odd place. I'm not sure if they're actually the best choice ever. Like Genji's really annoying, but you can shut him down pretty hard too if you have like skilled players. But like a lot of
Tracer
time,
and-
I'll kill.
The
Seagull
reason
by
to
myself.
flank isn't even there because you're not playing control point maps where flanking might get people to go back to the point. You're not seeing bastions. You're not seeing symmetric teleporters anymore. There's no reason to be on a flank.
Well, normally it's just used to go and like try and gank the Mercy or anyone.
Well, then play Pharah
support.
is pretty much probably where it's at.
Well, it's probably easier to do on Genji because you can do your combo and they basically
Get out of there.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
She's-
then get out of there.
Yeah. So
Take off.
Right. Okay, Chatson Frankenberg from Imperial Valley College asks, do you think that Blizzard's current choice to not add more than 21 characters will affect Overwatch's replayability?
I mean, Team
Not their
Fortress
stance.
2 has 9.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So it should be fine. I don't think that will affect much.
Yeah, I
Also,
mean,
considering we just heard today that all future heroes, yes, there are making new ones, are going to be free. So they do have plans to make more. It's just a question of when.
Yeah, and it sounds like it might come out immediately too. Like they launch the thing and it comes out very shortly after, which would be pretty awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
So we did have a question about there's a couple questions here about central servers, and I know you guys were playing on the EU server yesterday or the day before,
And today.
and
'cause-
today too. Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. Talk about the ping and just the latency. Is it an issue or
Well,
no?
I get like 115 on the EU servers, and there's basically no difference for me. I think Tailspin, I think he gets around 200 because he's West Coast.
Mhm.
And there's like a minor, it's mainly with the movement abilities. There's some warping or stuttering sometimes. But in terms of like hit reg and aiming, it's the exact same. So this is like 200 ping in this game is completely playable. Whereas like I played Soldier in TF2 with 200 ping, and it's like impossible.
Yeah.
This is the least
That's not fun.
independent
Easy.
shooter.
Okay, well that's
Yeah,
good. That's definitely good to hear.
Is very difficult.
Yeah.
I can imagine trying to play it like competitively.
I was competitively because I was in London and the team refused to play on a central server, so I had to play
Ouch.
God.
West Coast match.
Damn.
Did you get used to it after a while, or is it just
No,
you never
you
can.
can't, like. I mean, if you want to practice with 200 ping, I'm sure you can get used to it compared to like.
That's pretty
50 ping.
impractical.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if there are any other questions here on Twitter. Okay, the Chewy Rock. Will same hero stacking be a problem for competitive Overwatch?
I don't think it actually is. I know the one thing everyone complains about is the diva spam on last,
Mhm.
but if you actually watch the matches, it's quite counterable. It's like send in the Reapers, the Zarya, massive damage. You can't block it with the defense matrix. I
Mhm.
think it would be more interesting to watch without duplicate heroes, but I don't think it'll be a major problem as far as game balance goes. I know the Twitch chat seems to hate it.
Yeah.
But isn't that part of the problem with like you don't know what attackers are going to come out of on a control point? It could be 5 Winstons, and if you just by chance weren't ready for 5 Winstons, then like, oh, they got us this one time. Let's change characters, but we lost the first point.
Yeah, that's the problem on all the first points for defense. It's like makes sense to come out with a cheese combo because they're probably not going to have a setup to counter that. They're going to have a balanced comp, and if you win on that push, and but a lot of times you can just push with a normal combo, and then you have
Be fine.
full charge for the next phase, and you still get it on the first push. So
Well, you guys are always getting on the first push, so I guess
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
the biggest problem is on like Anubis and the CP maps because that's like literally half the map can be done in one cheese push, and there's no way for you to respond and change classes.
Anti-cheese, and you gotta do your own cheese.
So do you generally not like the 2CP maps then? Because
I don't
we had
think
Oplayed on last week, and Oplayed hates those maps.
No, I don't think anyone likes them because you can lose it in like a minute 30, something like that.
Yeah.
And so that's the ultimate like charge factors are even bigger there. Getting your ult 2% faster can decide the game, and the map can be over instantaneously.
That would have ended the tournament way faster. Though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why didn't you pick those, dude?
They weren't in the pool.
They weren't in the pool.
Yeah.
They weren't in. Oh, even in the pool to begin with. They just didn't even
I
include
don't
them.
think so.
Oh
Or maybe-
wow. Okay.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
the only
what a
team
lot
that
of them do.
even wanted
Yeah.
to play them was Melty,
Okay.
but everyone else voted against having them. So
Okay, so it was like a group ban.
yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, we
Banned.
played with Not Enigma in a best of 9 before, and we
Yeah.
just had a gentleman's agreement not to play those maps, even though they were allowed.
Okay. Kimmy asks, what hero do you think needs to be what hero do you think needs to be nerfed the most, beefed the most? So she has two questions.
Nerfed and buffed.
Yeah.
Sexualized more.
Well, I think kind of the worst design at the moment, leaving aside, Torbjorn Bastion, is Zenyatta, because he's like simultaneously super OP and also terrible. Like the Orb of Discord is insane.
I like that about him.
It's like
But-
the optimal way to play Zenyatta is you throw your orbs on someone and then you just go fucking hide. Like so far back that the Winston, Tracer, whoever, they can't get you. And it's like the Orb of Discord is so powerful, but
Yeah.
it's just no fun to play.
Can, like one shot a Reinhardt with it. It's crazy.
I mean, it gives a Reinhardt 250 health
Yeah.
effectively. So I
That's insane.
Yeah.
think he needs the biggest overhaul. I'd just like more supports to be viable in general.
But people get like a ton of kills with them too, man. It's just you guys. You guys are so good at killing it.
But
Killing
anyone
Zenyatta.
actually is focused on killing a Zenyatta,
Yeah.
which doesn't happen too often. Winston,
Easy
just-
kill. Yeah.
it's-
Easy
done.
kill.
You have to like play him literally like 2 Winston jumps behind your team. And all you do is just
that's why you need a Symmetra and a Torbjorn to give him 250 health, and then have him be the DPS,
There you go.
and have a
Okay,
mercy
the
on him all
sniper.
times. Your
Yeah.
whole team
Zenyatta.
revolves around Zenyatta, and you lose.
No, you win.
So do you think he needs to be
Somebody goes up
beefed
here.
then? You just what if
I
you
think
gave
he
him like
needs to-
another 50 health?
I think you should have like more personal survivability and like reduce the
The
Discord.
Discord.
So it's the optimal playstyle is more you got to be in the fight, not just hiding in the back while your team or your Genji, whoever, does all the work for you.
Yeah. I mean, his ult is all about being in the fight.
His alt fire is
Yeah,
pretty
that's-
terrible too, isn't it?
It is.
There's no reason to ever use it.
No, you can use the
Oh,
alt fire because you can throw the Discord orb in between when the alt fire actually lands, and if you hit them, you can like insta-gib, I think, everyone. If you land the Discord and all 5 orbs.
oh
But-
wow.
Oh, all five. You
How does
could
it-
really?
It's close to
Damn,
Yeah.
But that's,
Something every
Pretty
day.
powerful.
Guys.
competitive.
learn something every day.
All right, Zombie Monkey has kind of an interesting follow-up. What characters do you think don't need to be nerfed despite public outcry?
I don't think that Lucio or Mercy really need to be nerfed. I think they should change the other supports so they're more viable. Like I'm stuck on Lucio basically permanently because he's all around good in every situation pretty much. It's
Mhm.
never like, oh, look at this team comp. Lucio's gonna suck here.
That's true.
Lucio's
He's
gonna
good
suck
everywhere.
here. Reinhardt's gonna suck here. They should buff the other characters rather than nerf.
I think Symmetra needs some.
Yeah,
type-
Symmetra needs something for sure.
Melty was
because-
running her against us today, and then she
How-
was actually doing okay. But the thing is, we just like speed boost around the side where there are no turrets and just run on the point and ignore her basically.
Every time I play her, I feel like I just feel like I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind
Boring as hell to play.
it's very boring. It's very you're very taken back from the team. You put shields on people and it stays on them.
Even when you build Altair, it doesn't feel like you did it. You fire a ball, and like a couple seconds, you're like, I guess I did it. One step
I guess
closer
I
to
did
my
something.
teleporter to here.
Symmetra would be the one for me.
Yeah,
needs,
the ball fire is so slow too. It's like it rarely hits when it rarely hits anything. All right, I don't think there's any more questions here. Let's see.
Yeah,
Last
we're
minute.
gonna have to go into
minute.
hibernation. So maybe these characters even will be changed in a month.
Yeah, I think so.
Talk about it then.
Yeah, the break's coming up, guys, in another almost like 2 full days. Yeah, so it's about 49 hours here. So got to get your play in as much as possible. Is it going to actually end at midnight the 10th or like midnight the 11th? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a question.
Yeah, we might have 3 days actually. Not 2
I've
days.
kind of accepted that it's gonna go away,
Yeah.
and that's already put me in the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah. And then Minstrel, you guys still have like a couple more events too, right?
There's still
I'm
more
not
tournaments to
playing
play.
You're not playing in the. I know there's one on Wednesday, like the
Yeah,
But
shut
it's
the
like
servers
EU
off in the middle of
only.
one of them.
We're banned from it.
It's EU only. Oh, it's the good
EU
studio
teams
one.
only.
Too good.
Banned by the
Oh,
Let
that's
somebody else play.
lame.
We've been
Guys are
playing it
gonna-
anyways.
You
You
wouldn't
guys are
play
gonna
it
get
anyways.
the
Okay.
warning,
Oh, we're
the
done.
Blizzard warning. Servers turning off in 15 minutes. You guys are gonna be at last. You have to end it
No, that
quick.
happened in like the first cup.
They held
and
it
actually
out, though.
kept the servers, yeah, they
Yeah.
kept finished the round. between
Yeah,
us and
they let them
Nico.
finish.
Yeah,
the-
that did happen. I forgot. That's
Yeah,
fun.
that was definitely really cool. But appreciate you coming on, though, Minstrel. Why don't we just wrap the show? We've been doing this for a long time now, and figured we could again just kind of wrap it up and go into hibernation, and then we'll be back whenever the beta's back and can get a chance to again like have some more segments. I'm sure we'll have an intro video too by then, and just a lot of other things that I've just been kind of getting together, and this break will be nice to do. But Minstrel, you want to do some shout outs before we go?
Just to hubris all the team. Shout out to the devs for scrimming us all the time the first 2 weeks, and they were actually beating us like every time.
Are they still any good now, or relatively,
I
or
mean,
no?
they gave up. I think they don't scrim us anymore.
Oh,
A couple
oh,
weeks back.
yeah.
Shout out to Not Enigma, because they're like the most fun team to play against. Oh,
All right, Jerma, shout
I
out.
cry.
Why?
Oh,
It sounded so sad. Like shout out to Not Enigma. Like they're not around anymore. They're dead. I'm
they're still around. Like cancer.
Like cancer,
damn.
Yeah.
but they're fun to play against.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have a big. I don't have really a shout out. Maybe just see y'all in a couple months when the game's really back and we can shout out to Downtime.
Yes, downtime
Shout out
is
to
nice.
From Software. Bloodborne DLC. It's a great game.
Shout out to all those hard-working Blizzard devs.
Shout out to all
That's
those
right.
hard-working
They're gonna be
Blizzard
working the entire
devs
time.
From
man.
Software.
Is that
Unless
why-
they're getting off for the holidays?
Exactly. That might be actually why they're
might
taking
be
like a
part of
3-week
it.
vacation.
But yeah, anyone who's still working on the game, working it up, shout out to you.
Yeah,
Back to
absolutely.
work. You're listening to me right now.
Yes, definitely, and it's pretty
Hail
late
Hunter.
over there. It's pretty late. It's 7:30
Hail
over there. Yeah. I'll close things out. Big shout out to you, the three of you guys, for obviously doing the show today, and all of you viewers too that have been watching, especially since we were doing the pre-show. I might just post the pre-show, anyways. Just the podcast and everything. I don't know. It was definitely fun.
It was its own full length.
It was pretty much its own full show. For Minstrel, if you don't know what we're talking about, we were doing a pre-show for a while that was basically non-Overwatch content, and then we just finally decided to start just because it was taking so long. But yeah, anyways, thanks guys for chilling out, hanging out there. The VODs will be on youtube.com/ChanManV as always. The podcast will be on iTunes and the feeds, the feed burner feeds. So you can see them in all kinds of just
Feeds.
podcast readers or whatever apps. Definitely you can just find those. So you'll be able to catch the audios, and then follow the channel too if you enjoy the show or any of my other shows. Definitely follow, and you'll be notified whenever it comes on. Unfiltered, my esports show, is tomorrow at 1 p.m. and in Value Town is Wednesday at 1 p.m. too. So 1 p.m. Eastern, that is. That's going to be it for the overview, guys. So for Minstrel, Jerma, Ster, and myself, ChanManV, we'll see you next time.
I still haven't shaved.
It's
It's
nice.
December.
Nice.
It's getting cold.
Chilly. Keep it.
Come on, man.